Good morning, Slop Nation, and welcome to Slop Chop. This is a new podcast hosted by myself, Harvey Mulvihill. It is about the happenings of the internet, and it is your one-stop shop for slop. Thank you guys for joining me. This is going to be a fun end-of-the-year episode, counting down our best media, the best slop of the year. The first annual Slop of the Year Awards. We've got movies, we've got comedy specials, we've got YouTube videos, and we also have, I did a very painful exercise, which is I quickly clicked on every single one of the previous podcasts that I've made this year, and just looked in the description for slopics, and so we're also going to look back at the year of slop. A year chock full of delicious, nutritious internet slop. Before we get into the best of the year list stuff, we should discuss what's happening this week. There's been a couple of interesting internet developments that I would like to talk about. Firstly, the Ned's Declassified kid. All right, Tyler Chase is this dude. Tyler Chase was a child star on Ned's Declassified probably 15 years ago, and he is now a homeless, drug-addicted vagrant. And for some reason this week it blew up that he was just he's been roaming the streets of Los Angeles asking people for money and proposing blowjobs or whatever the thing is. And God bless him. I hope he gets help or whatever. But it's weird that this whole thing blew up and it just now became an issue. I think what happened was some guy just videoed him outside of a 7-Eleven, and he is very homeless and drug addicted. He's not if you didn't know it was the kid from the show, you would never guess it, because it looks like someone that you would generally avoid if you were walking into the 7-Eleven. Someone who's going to be asking about fare for a bus to get into the next town. He just needs a couple of extra dollars. The kind of people that we here in this beloved country of mine tend to ignore. But someone recognized him, so they asked him, hey, weren't you on that show? Weren't you on that? I think they got it wrong, too. They were like, hey, weren't you on a Cartoon Network show? He's like, nah, Nickelodeon. Oh, cool. What was the Ned's Declassified? Yeah. Tyler Chase. So that video blows up. And in the wake of this video going semi-viral, his co-star back in the day, this guy Daniel Curtis Lee, who is another washed up ass child actor who has not had quite as tough a go of it as Tyler Chase here, but he's just as washed up. There's not a single child actor that comes out unscathed. I think maybe perhaps, no, I think that's 100% universally true. There's very, very few, if any, people that act as children who end up well-adjusted and normal and generally okay with themselves. It's a strange pattern. Perhaps shoving cameras into a developing mind's face and treating them like, godlike figures is perhaps not ideal for their mental health. Perhaps. But anyway, this guy, Daniel Curtis Lee, found his beloved friend. It's a reunion for the ages. It's very similar to this Malcolm. Honestly, the whole thing, it kind of reads similar to the Malcolm in the Middle revival series. They're kind of the same thing. It's just two people that haven't done shit since their thing. One of them is addicted to fentanyl. The other one is just looking for clout. This guy, Daniel Curtis Lee, fucking hires a camera crew, or more accurately, probably just hands his friend a camera, and then films himself helping out the Tyler Chase character person. Films himself going up to Tyler Chase being like, hey man, it's been a while. How you doing? You okay? Films him getting food. Films him checking him into a hotel room. Films himself being of service to this fucking person. Which, I think is, it's obviously gross that it makes your stomach churn to see this type of shit, but there is an argument that one could make in that, and this is another thing that I've said before, but there is an argument that one could make in that, even if you film yourself being a good, helpful citizen and being of service, you're still being of service. It doesn't matter what it was for. It could be that you just want the clout, which is 100% what's happening here, but you're still doing a good deed, right? So if you don't film yourself doing it, it won't get done. So therefore, the whole thing is inherently a positive act. I disagree with that entirely. I think the vitriol that this video has caused me and those like me who are disgusted by this kind of flagrant act of fucking, it's like so see-through what he's doing, what he did, you know? If you wanted to help the guy, I always think of that Louis episode. Louis on a date with a lady, and he walks by a homeless guy and gives him $1, and she's like, "What are you doing? Do you want to help this person? Then let's help him." And they spend like the next 4 hours with this homeless guy who's, you know, schizophrenic and all this stuff. Yeah, it's true. Like if you want to actually help this person, you're not going to put a camera in their face and make it a whole thing. You're just going to go help them. But this guy does not want that. He wants clicks. He wants 15 minutes of fame. He wants another 15. He had his 15 as an 8-year-old, and now he wants another. He wants to make it a clean 30. But you already had your 15, bro. Nah, okay, it worked though. It did work, and most of the feedback was hateful. I didn't give any feedback because I'm not a type. I'm not the type to leave a YouTube comment or a tweet about a thing. But I will talk about it on this podcast and say that you're kind of a piece of shit. And I think that I just don't agree with that sentiment that the thing is a net positive. I think it's a net negative because it worked. You know what I mean? Which means that more clout chasers will be putting cameras in homeless people's faces and trying to chase this dragon. Or more people will just try to recreate this situation with the Declasified kid. I don't know. It's gross. It's gross. So fuck this guy forever, Daniel Curtis Lee. He sucks. You should have just, both of yous should have just waited for the inevitable call from Nickelodeon, Mr. Nickelodeon, about a revival series. They would have hired you both. They would have sent fucking Tyler Chase's ass to rehab, get him cleaned up, give him a haircut, and then smack him on the ass and get him back on that stage. Pay him, I don't know. We'll pay you $2,000 for 8. There won't be 8 episodes. Way too many. It'll be like a 6-episode miniseries in a totally different format. Flat lighting, awful cinematography, and you should have just waited around for that. But instead, you were just, you got to get that fixed, brother. You got to get that fentanyl itch scratched. So you decided to wait outside of a 7-Eleven and get filmed by a guy, and this got this whole ball rolling. By the way, the finale of this lovely story of ours is that Tyler Chase, or whatever the fucking guy's name is, Daniel Curtis Lee, gets Tyler Chase checked into a hotel room for an evening, which is just out of the kindness of his heart. He buys him a 1 night of roof. And then he trashes the hotel room. This guy trashes the fucking hotel room. That's, honestly, based, hilarious thing to do. Based and hilarious thing to do is just to fuck up the hotel room and screw over the person that was trying to be nice. That's funny. They should honestly, it'd be cool to have like a TLC show or something that follows just this guy or people like him, washed up ass Hollywood kid actors this guy's probably the worst I've seen of, typically they're still on TikTok. They live in a home. Typically they live in a home and they're still on TikTok and they just get a face tattoo or just start being super cringe online. That's usually the fate of a child star. But this guy's legitimately a drug addicted homeless person. So God love you to Tyler Chase. I hope the tide starts turning the other direction, my friend. And I hope that Daniel Curtis Lee is not called for the inevitable remake, the reunion special, because that guy sucks. I'd like to give a shout out to my my beloved, the Twink King himself, Timothee Chalamet, on a really impressive marketing rollout. Probably the coolest marketing stunt, multiple stunts that I've seen. He's just killing it with this Marty Supreme marketing, and Marty Supreme is doing very well at the box office. I think largely due to this marketing push. So he did a guest verse on this UK rapper's song. There was like there's a rumor that this UK rapper was Timothée Chalamet as like an alter ego situation, and then he guested on his song because of the rumors. I think he is a real human being and not Timothée Chalamet in disguise. He just has the same eyeballs as him. But he guessed this, he did a rap verse on this song, and it like actually was pretty good. And like everything he does is just kind of good, impressive and good. I saw a tweet that was like, it's impressive to come this close to eating shit and bombing and then just pull it out of your ass. Like just nail it. Just barely nail it, You're playing with fire as you trying a guest rap verse, like trying to feature on a fucking hip hop song, dude. Trying to feature on a hip hop song as an actor can just blow up in your face so hard, and it didn't. Like it was good. Everything he does is good. He's the best. He's the coolest guy, and he's hot, and he's talented. Whew. What more can you ask for, brother? I was talking to a buddy about this, and he made an interesting point, which is that marketing for films is a weird practice. I've always been fascinated by what exactly is in the contract for an actor. When you sign on to a big film project like Marty Supreme or Dune 2, what exactly does it say in your contract that, like, because all these actors are doing this press junket and they're doing the Vanity Fair, hey, I'm Timothée Chalamet for real on Google or whatever, and all those fucking videos, and also just hundreds of other Slop movie channel videos that that we don't even see. They have contracts with the studios, and they similar to a comedian having to do the local radio station in the morning before their show because the club has a contract with the radio station. They have to do all that shit too. So I'm curious, just like if they tell you the number. But when you sign the thing, are they like, yeah, you're gonna have to do Vanity Fair and GQ and 13 other interviews contractually. You can do more. You're more than welcome to do more, but you cannot do less than that. That's probably basically what the writing is like. But my friend made a good point in that when you do a movie, you shoot everything, and then you wait like 8 months to a year to do when it before it comes out. Sometimes even longer. So you have to you got a whole other thing going on. Picture you 8 months ago or not, a year ago. You had a whole different mindset. You were doing a whole different thing. And then you have to go back and market the thing that you did a year ago. And you're like, I remember that pretty good. I mean, it was good. I think it generally positive vibes. There's so much, actors get a lot of flack for the generic ass answers that they secrete in interviews, but you kind of can't blame them because they're pulling from the deck of a fucking calendar year ago, dude. I don't remember what the hell I was doing a year ago. Do you? What the fuck was going on back then? My life was worse. I hadn't started a podcast yet. I hadn't started talking to a microphone yet, so I wasn't fulfilled. And now I'm fulfilled. So it's even more impressive that Timothée Chalamet has come around after shooting this again a long time ago and is this locked in and is this committed to making the thing a success and is doing this whole brand press run, which is just, yeah, it's the coolest. It's the coolest. He's the coolest. He's so cool and very hot. He's cool and hot and funny and seeming and seems like a fucking delight. And he's, it's cool that he on straight up in interviews, he's like, I want to be great. I want to be considered one of the greats, and I want to, do this to the best of my possible ability. Similar to Marty Supreme, which I just saw, which will be on our movie list, perchance, maybe. Perhaps, perchance, maybe. If you stick around, you'll be able to hear about Marty Supreme a little bit. So shouts out to Chalamet. God love you. I'm, again, just very impressed by your whole situation. Yeah, he's the man. He's the man. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, is there a female equivalent to Timothee Chalamet? Is there someone who's like hot and super talented and just like Midas touch? Everything they do is killer. Incredible agent, presumably. Really good eye for a script. There's got to be a female equivalent, but I don't want to fuck that female equivalent, so I don't really think about them very often. All right, so I think with that, we should get into our slop of the year. How should we do this? How about we do YouTube videos first? All right, we'll do YouTube videos first, just because I'm looking at the screen right now. This is not in any sort of an order. This is just a general recommendation for movies that I loved this year. Excuse me, YouTube videos that I loved this year. I didn't even think to dive into my TikTok or Twitter, but that's a lot of, there's going to be a lot more shit there. I'm pretty selective with my YouTube likes. If I have to like very much enjoy your thing to give you a like, I do that mostly because it's nice to have sort of a log of the stuff that I've really enjoyed just in a playlist, which is just my liked videos. So let's get into it, shall we? All right, Mossbag, the Hollow Knight YouTuber, just dropped about a week ago. The somewhat complete lore of Silksong. There's going to be a couple Silksong things in this. Silksong, I didn't do games of the year because I played one. So let's actually just do that right now. Here are my top 1 games of the year. It's Hollow Knight Silksong. It's the only game I played this year. I'm very, I still consider myself a gamer, but I just don't play a whole lot. I just ordered Metroid Prime 4. It's coming in the mail. Looking forward to that. It's probably going to be bad. It's getting very mixed reviews. All right. Anyway, so the somewhat complete lore of Silksong. Silksong is like Mossbag. He is a super in-depth, very impressive video essayist, specifically about Hollow Knight. And he's also very funny. He's got a great comedic sensibility, and that's a hard thing to come across. There's typically, you have the very lore-dense sort of accurate retelling of a thing, but there's no humor in it. Mossbag attempts to throw in jokes, and they're not always hitters, but many of them are. And I appreciate someone who is trying to be funny in a thing. I should learn a thing or two from that. From that fucking guy. So, shouts out to Mossbag. He's awesome. Speaking of Silksong, the Atrioc Silksong playthrough, excellent. Atrioc continues to be the best gift that my brother Patrick has ever given me. He introduced me to this man, and he's straight up one of my favorite YouTubers, period. I watch almost every one of his videos. I don't love the gaming stuff as much. I'm much more interested in the politically leaning or business leaning stuff. That stuff is all fascinating. He's also hilarious and very, very in tune and touch with the culture of slop, but he's much smarter than I am. He reads books all the time, and he reads articles and books and things, and he has a lot of great opinions about the way the world's working. So shouts out to Atrioc. He also played Silksong, and I loved that playthrough. For another Atrioc video, if you would like to, for one this year, there's an awesome video called The Great MAGA Civil War of 2025. It's about Elon Musk and Trump, and it's awesome. Highly recommend that video. All right, another YouTuber that I discovered this year, Any Austin. The video that I had liked is The Most Boring Place in Tears of the Kingdom. His whole deal, Any Austin, is like he's fascinated by the mundane, especially in video games. So in Tears of the Kingdom, there has to be like a place where the developers didn't intend anyone to travel to, or like just kind of put nothing there of interest, and just there's kind of just an afterthought. He's like, what's the most boringest place in this whole game? That's of interest to me. And also, like, or another video of his that I really liked is like, did the power lines in GTA 5 go anywhere? So he like follows all the power lines in the game and like sees if they connect to a source and see if it's like accurate. That stuff is great. So really, really kind of hyper niche gaming content that this guy, Doug, another guy that I love, when he made a video on like his 10-year YouTube anniversary, maybe it was like 10 million subscribers or something like that, where he was like content creation guide. This is Doug's content creation guide. Another video that I love. And what his take on it was, if you want to be a successful content creator, here's a good roadmap to do it. Let me actually just start from the top and say, like, if you want to just do what Mr. Beast does, you're never going to excel because people have Mr. Beast to watch. They're never going to click on your thing because you're just a worse version or the second version of Mr. Beast. But if you add Mr. Beast plus, I don't know, fucking Jenny Nicholson, which I have no clue what that would be. But his point was, like, if you combine two genres, suddenly you're interesting and you're unique, right? So, like, Doug's thing was he loves gaming and also solving ridiculous puzzles or like working as a team to accomplish a ridiculous goal. A goal that doesn't mean anything or isn't of any value to anyone but him. So, like, trying to get across the whole map of GTA 5 without touching the ground or something like that. And he's like, that's unique and interesting and fun. And you have the competition aspect or the community aspect. So you're combining two things, right? Any Austin, in my opinion, is combining gaming with just a fascinating sort of tepid look into the boring side of the world. He's interested in what people generally overlook. So that's, again, unique. Immediately, it's interesting and unique. I've never thought about what the most boring place in Tears of the Kingdom is. Let's find out, shall we? Another gaming recommendation for you. Game Maker's Toolkits. Perhaps, or just definitely, he's the best. He's my favorite gaming channel. Yep, I love technicality. I love breaking down the mechanics of a thing. That's why I love film analysis for the same reason. And that's just how my brain operates. I'm fascinated with how things work. And he is the best channel that makes that kind of content. The video in question that I'm talking about is the 100 games that taught me game design. It's about 2 hours long. It fucking rips. It's so interesting. The things that he pulls from each of the games. He goes like from the inception of gaming into modern day. And he like pulls an interesting tidbit from each game. He's like, wow, I've never thought of designing a game that way. I've never thought of designing a game that way. Shouts out to Mark Brown. He is the best. He's the fucking best doing it. Love that man. This one's a little sloppier, or quite a bit sloppier. Jay Schlatt's Candy Tier List. Jay Schlatt, hilarious streamer. Sideburns. Funny guy. I think he's young. He's like 24. But he's really great. He does like slop videos that are very funny. He's an awesome sense of humor. Highly recommend the Candy Tier List from Jay Schlatt. This was the year, believe it or not, of the Hassan Piker content nuke from H3H3. Crazy that was this year. It feels like an eternity ago. I still remember seeing bits and pieces, like clips of him from the podcast saying, I'm neglecting my family because I just go home after I get done with the podcast and I edit for 7 hours. And then I go to sleep, and then I wake up in the morning before the podcast and I edit, and then I go do the podcast, and then I come back and I edit for like 7 more hours. Like, he took his sweet fucking time. He really, really put his heart and soul into this hateful video, and I think it's a really good video. I think it's great, actually. I am a big fan of it. I think he has not, unlike an iDubbbz, he has not forgotten why people are entertained by those videos. And they can be hateful. They can be like a takedown of a person's whole situation, but they have to be funny. They need to be entertaining. They need to like have jokes in them. The reason that people love your stuff, Ethan Klein, is because you put jokes in it. And guess what? He put jokes in this. It's like a very entertaining, great watch that is also a brutal takedown of a very popular left-wing streamer. So check it out. It's a good video. Red Letter Media dropped a video very recently called the obligatory YouTube is broken video. Anytime the boys do something different than their normal output, I love the one-off type videos, and this is a very interesting topic. The rise of the AI sorting mechanisms on YouTube and how it's affecting a bunch of creators. Luckily, it doesn't affect me because I'm not monetized yet. But it's fascinating, and again, just hearing them talk about anything is the best. Shouts out to reacting to Pimp a Butterfly review 10 years later from Anthony Fantano. Awesome video. Mostly just getting to revisit the review was awesome. And I love just, it's been 10 years since that album, 10 years since that review. I remember where I was in college when that album dropped. I remember hearing it for the first time. I remember the end of the album and being so fucking blown away. Just blown away, driving to Houston in my car, completely just mind blown at that album. It's crazy. And then I remember Fantano cooking on that review. Like, he didn't post a thing for, the album come out, and he's like 2 weeks of dead silence online. And then he drops that video. And I remember, it's one of those things where this sounds stupid, but I was very excited. Big fan of his, big fan of the review. The yellow flannel, the way he starts it, oh, it's great. The Cal stuff. He's going to review it. He's going to review it. He's going to review it. Kendrick Lamar. I've been telling you. Kendrick Lamar's got something. Yeah, that's good stuff. That whole thing is super well written, super really, really insightful, amazing points. The fact that he obviously gave it a 10 is awesome. And it's just like, it was an awesome little trip down memory lane for me. It was sweet to revisit the review, think more about the album that I hadn't heard in a while, and get his current take on his old review. So it was great. I highly recommend that video. It's awesome. All right, another one of my favorite YouTubers, Thomas Flight, put out a video called Why AI Art Feels So Wrong. Great video. The basic thesis of the thing is that typically, or generally, with art, the surface level sort of presentation of the thing hits you, and then you can dig deeper typically to find more. And with AI, the surface level sort of visual immediate reaction hits you, but then there's nothing to dig into. There's no depth to it. That's the thesis of the video, and he puts it way better and more succinctly than I did. Great video, great points. AI art is cringe and no good, in my humble opinion. Okay, a new YouTuber that I discovered this year. This guy CIH Ki. CIH is his name. The video in question is just called "I Got Arrested." ... And it's just a stream. It's a clip of his stream when he gets pulled over for flying through a stop sign, and like they make him do defensive driving, and so he just streams himself doing the defensive driving course and just verbally berating the officers that pulled him over, the state of Michigan, like anyone who thinks this is helpful at all. It's just very funny to film yourself screaming about defensive driving and putting it online. It's good stuff. So shouts out to that. All right, we got a whole chunk of YouTube videos about movies or movie adjacent, and here they are. Shouts out to David F. Sandberg and his still shockingly posting channel, Pony Smasher. David F. Sandberg is a successful Hollywood director. He did the 2 Shazam movies. Those are his biggest movies. He also did Lights Out and Annabelle Creation. So he's like a successful horror guy that got pulled in by the DC EU and started making Shazam movies. He seems like an incredibly down-to-earth, awesome person who is happy to share the behind-the-scenes stuff of how you actually get a movie made. And he dropped 2 videos this year on his Pony Smasher channel that were both excellent. Check out the Making of Until Dawn, where he shows you all the behind the scenes. Like, he's also just like so unpretentious and chill and cool sounding. He truly just seems like he's in it for the love of the game. And he's down to share the knowledge that he's gained by doing it with his YouTube audience. Shockingly, like I don't know another major Hollywood director that's doing that. So the making of Until Dawn, and then the problem solving of filmmaking. Part 2 was released this year of the problem solving of filmmaking. They're both excellent. Highly recommend. All right, yeah. Speaking of Marty Supreme, Timothee Chalamet internal brand marketing meeting on the A24 YouTube channel. Hilarious, awesome video. Talked about it last week. Check it out. GQ. Jeremy Irons breaks down his most iconic characters. Didn't think that I would enjoy that video as much as I did, but Jeremy Irons is so likable. Holy shit. I did not know just how interesting and captivating that dude is. Awesome video. Fascinating career. Shouts out to Scar from The Lion King, one of the best voice performances of all time. Shouts out to YMS for wanting to fuck Scar from The Lion King. All right, Joel Haver, another excellent YouTuber. This was not this year, but last year he made he stopped posting YouTube videos and he did a challenge for himself. He wanted to make 12 feature films in 12 months. That was his goal, and he successfully did it. The only 12 YouTube videos on his channel from 2024 are 12 feature films that he made in that calendar year. And they're all very different. I have not seen all of them, but very cool project. He's a very anti-studio type person, pro indie, pro micro budget filmmaker, and he loves movies. And he has a second channel called Joel Talks About Movies. And he started a new series this year that I very much enjoy. I think he only did 2 or 3 of them, which is just I watch my viewers' favorite movies. So he put out a Google Doc and was like, submit your Letterboxd and I'll randomly select one of them and then I'll watch your top 4 favorite movies and then talk about them. So he makes a little video about just talking about his followers' favorite stuff. And he's like, he's not afraid to call it shitty if it's shitty. I guess he is. He's a sweetheart. He's like, yeah, well, this wasn't really for me, but it was an interesting thing and I can see what you like about it. It's a sweet thing. Great series. Hope he does more of them. I also, you bet your bottom fucking dollar I submitted my Letterboxd, and I'm praying that he selects me eventually. But there's thousands of other people that have did that, so probably not. All right, moving right along. A very cool video about film preservation and restoration. It's called "Restoring Dirty Works Lost Cut" by Vinegar Syndrome. The good people at Vinegar Syndrome really give a fuck about film restoration. And Dirty Work, the Norm Macdonald classic, they put out a 4K edition this year, and they wanted to, in remembrance of Norm Macdonald and Bob Saget, who have both passed, they wanted to restore the R-rated cut because it was cut to shit to give it a PG-13 rating by the studio. And there's actually 0 film print available of the R-rated cut. All they had was like a VHS recording or like a fucking dailies or something, and they painstakingly fished it out from the fucking the one remaining film reel. Anyway, it's a whole, I don't exactly remember the specifics, but it's very impressive. And it's like, it's essentially a boner comedy that they really cared about and really put their heart and soul into. And my brother got that edition for me for Christmas, so I own it now. It's on my shelf and I'm very happy to have it. Very cool. Shouts out to that. Shouts out to Vinegar Syndrome. Another YouTuber I discovered this year that I love, Jay Cote, made a little TikTok about him. He's the best. He's very funny, excellent sense of humor. I discovered him this year from his series called Ranking Star Wars Freaks, where he collects all the glup shittos of the Star Wars universe and ranks them. It's very funny. Okay, speaking of Star Wars, Imp Lemon. Easily top 5 YouTubers for me. Easily top 5. Perhaps even my 3rd favorite. After Red Letter Media and Jenny Nicholson. Yeah, I think he's 3rd. It's tough. But anyway, he's the best. He also has a second channel called Downward Diary, and on the 10-year or 5-year anniversary, probably 5-year, yeah, definitely. So on the 5-year anniversary of the Rise of Skywalker, he rewatched it with a friend and provided commentary for it, and he tore it to shreds, of course, because it's the worst pile of shit ever made by a human being. And so I've been since I saw that movie, it has been my least favorite movie of all time. And watching someone that I respect the fuck out of say those exact same words as me, I was like, oh, it's one of those moments where like, yeah, yes, me too. I also hate it. He opens the video by saying exactly what I just said. Like, since that day in that theater, I've known that this is by far my most hated movie of all time. Yeah, so he rewatches it with a friend who has not seen it, and they roast the fuck out of it. It's awesome. It is called Somehow The Rise of Skywalker is Worse Than I Remembered. And if you want, that's a second channel video, much less highly produced. If you want a main channel banger this year, check out There Will Never Ever Be Another Movie Like Office Space. Love, love, love. Incredible video, incredible film. Yeah, and just the way he edits it, it's like so good. He is next level. He is a fucking incredible content creator. Shouts out to Implemen. Truly one of my favorites of all time. And those are my YouTube videos, everyone. Hooray, we got through it. Hooray, 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 hooray. Oh, son of a bitch. Well, I lost video again for a second, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is, baby. When your 29-minute Google timer doesn't have a goddamn the sound turned on and you don't know when it ends, that's what happens, baby. Because my fucking camera doesn't record past 29 minutes. Why is it like that? Is there a fix for that? Probably. I've Googled it. Yes, I have Googled it. And I just have not implemented those Googlings. You have to basically like jailbreak your camera, and I'm worried about fucking something up. All right, moving on. All right, really quickly, I have 5 or 6 podcast episodes here for you that I listened to this year that I love dearly and would like to recommend to you. First, I would like to start with the 2 funniest episodes I have seen this year. They are Ian Fidance on the Are You Garbage podcast. Are You Garbage? Incredible pod. Love it. New York boys. Hilarious. Ian Fidance came on. He actually came on twice this year. The second episode is not nearly as good. The first episode is called The Bomb Squad. It is so good. So funny. Essentially, like one of them bombs in the beginning, and then something just happens to the room, and they just can't stop eating shit. Every joke that they try sucks and gets no reaction. And then it starts happening to all of them, and they just make fun of each other for bombing over and over. It's so good. It's the best. One of those just cry laughing episodes. Incredible. Speaking of cry laughing episodes, Lemon Party 126. It's called Nothing But Blue Skis or Blue Skies. It is. They were at the time they were not allowed to post on YouTube because of for obvious reasons, because they don't give a fuck. Talk about like there's a Lemon Party poster on my wall because I think they're a genuine inspiration. If you guys like Come Town back in the day, this is the closest I've heard to kind of like that truly not give a fuck. We don't care. We don't care that tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people are going to listen to this. It's like beyond edgy. They also do not have a political leaning. Like they're very centrist, which is great. They make fun of libs constantly, along with super conservative people. They're right in the middle, which is where every comedian should be, in my opinion. That's fucking awesome. But this episode, number 126, the goal of the episode is to speed run getting banned on Blue Sky. So Blue Sky, if you don't know, is the new competitor for Twitter. It's like full of liberal cucks, and the whole thing is how fast can we get banned? That's the gimmick. It's fucking hysterical. It is probably the hardest I've ever laughed at a podcast episode. It's crazy. It's so funny. I would just skip the first 15 minutes of the episode. You don't need them. They start the challenge at around 15 minutes. Check it out. It's awesome. Okay. And moving right along, another one of my favorite content creators, MKBHD, the best tech channel on YouTube. Also the most popular, but he's the most popular for a reason, because it's the best. He is such an incredible production level, really astonishingly great production quality. And he's interesting and he's funny. He's not super funny, but he's interesting. He's never not interesting. And he did a podcast episode on his Waveform podcast called Do You Feel Guilty About Bad Reviews? And the gimmick of this is that he has another tech reviewer come on and ask him questions. And he just answers openly and honestly about his whole process, and it's awesome. Check it out. All right. Oh, should have mentioned this in the funny segment. I have one more funny haha episode. Story Wars. If you guys are not watching Story Wars, it's great. Subscribe to them. Story, W-A-R-Z. Episode 35 is the one I'm talking about. Heat. Shane Gillis, Matt McCusker, and Joe DeRosa. If you don't know what Story Wars is, the idea for the show is that you have Big J. Okerson and Louis J. Gomez are the two hosts, and they invite 3 other comedians onto stage. It's a live recording show situation, and they each submit 5 stories on a topic to a producer, and the producer will read one of them at random out loud. And the goal is to determine whose story it is. And if it's your story, it's your job to lie to everyone else, make them believe that it's not your story and it's that, in fact, someone else's. So it's a game about deception. It's very like Among Us. It's hilarious. Then this episode is my favorite one that I've heard. Shane, Matt, Joe DeRosa, killer episode, really funny. Very like conniving and great. You kind of see a different side of these comedians, and it's great. Like I said, it's very, very Among Us. Another poster on my wall is one for The Honeydew with Ryan Sickler. It's a podcast about trauma and how it can still be funny, despite things being shitty and traumatic, you can still get a good laugh out of them. It's kind of a beautiful thing, in my opinion, as cheesy as that sounds. I love it. And he made an episode this year talking to Chris Hansen of To Catch a Predator fame. Honeydew 351 with Chris Hansen. Fascinating look into that world, what it's like to work on a show where you're around PDF files. Can't say that word on YouTube. When you're around predators all fucking day, and like what that does to a psyche. It's pretty fascinating. Yeah, check it out. And then lastly, as for our podcast here, L. Reeve to Tim Dillon, do you think you are part of the new establishment? CNN interviewed Tim Dillon. It's like a 90-minute, 2-hour interview with this lady, L. Reeve, who is a seemingly very good-natured just journalist who is interested in the comedy scene, fascinated with what's going on in Austin and like the Rogan sphere and all that, and just invited Tim Dillon on to discuss at length about this whole thing. And Tim Dillon is very sweet and informative and funny in this thing, and she's also very sweet, informative, and funny. Very like a heartwarming sort of like normie talks to a comedian for 90 minutes. But she's like a good-natured normie. She's like just doesn't understand what the deal is about the whole comedy world and is curious about it and is like asking good questions. So it's good stuff. Shouts out to all of that. So there are my YouTube videos and podcasts. Comedy specials. I watched 15 comedy specials, or probably more than that. 15 that I could log on Letterboxd. If sometimes they just don't show up on Letterboxd, so there was almost certainly more. That new Ryan Sickler one is still not on Letterboxd. But that was good. I would put that pretty high. If you have seen, or if you go check out Ryan Sickler Live and Alive on YouTube, it's probably my 5th or 6th. It's probably 6th favorite special this year. So, want to talk about my least favorite specials real quick? I'll just give you 3 of those. Least favorite. Drum roll, please. Actually, I'll just give you 13, 14, and 15. 13, least favorite. Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, The Unstoppable. Whatever. The Unstoppable by Dave Chappelle. No good. Fucking boring. Repetitive. Unfinished. Needed more time in the cooker. Disappointing. My goat is washed. Rip. Tim Dillon, I'm Your Mother on Netflix. Tim Dillon is the funniest person on earth on a podcast. And his stand-up is just not that great. It's very strange. It's a tough thing. Like, I've actually made this point before in that Shane Gillis is probably the only person who excels. He's like the best of both fields. But Shane Gillis is like a very rare talent. Most people are really good at one of the two things. And it's tough. It's very tough to be good at both. Tim Dillon's just not the best stand-up. I saw him live and he did well. And I've seen there's a great clip where one of his old bits that he did on Comedy Central about ice cream is fantastic. If you type in Tim Dillon ice cream, that's worth watching. It's awesome. But his recent stuff is just I think I laughed really hard once. There's one great bit, and then nothing else. Anyway, and least favorite comedy special of the year. Bert Kreischer, Lucky. Gotta tell you, I might understand what everyone's talking about now. No, not really. I'm a Kreischer defender. I think his stand-up is slept on, but output like this makes it harder to defend him. Bad special. All of his other specials are good. I truly believe that. He's a good comedian, and seeing him live was a blast. People hate Bert Kreischer. I'm not one of those people. I'm a fan. I don't like him on podcasts. I find him he's like the most irritating dude on a pod. So I don't ever listen to him on podcasts, but I like his stand-up. He's the opposite of Tim Dillon for me. But yeah, least favorite comedy special of the year was Bert Kreischer's. All right, let's go 5 through 1. Drum roll, everyone. Big J. Okerson, number 5. Them. This is the first half of his 2-part crowd work YouTube special series. This is the best crowd work I've ever seen. Period. I hate crowd work. I am not a fan at all. But if you are this good at it, it's interesting and great and beyond impressive. So this is the better of the 2 specials. Definitely watch this one. Big J. Okerson, Them. It's the best. Like I said, again, even if you don't like crowd work, check it out. It's great. Number 4, Discount Meat by Doug Stanhope. Stanhope, my beloved, on my Mount Rushmore, probably might just overtake Dave Chappelle and just put him up there and have 4 white guys in the fucking top 4. But he's the best, and he's still putting out quality, man. I was actually at this taping with my brother Patrick. He filmed it at the mothership, and he didn't bring any cameras. So he the first words out of his mouth were like, apparently Rogan has this whole thing, like covered with cameras. Like I didn't need to hire anyone. So apparently they'll just shoot it for me and send me the footage. And it's very clear that he was disappointed, to put it lightly, with the quality of the footage, because he did this super creative workaround, which you just have to see for yourself. It's very smart and cool the way he did this. Go check out Discount Meat on YouTube. Doug Stanhope, excellent special. I was there in the audience. Hilarious material, and a very, very creative, cool, smart workaround for the quality of the footage issue. I'll leave it at that. Third favorite, Joe List, Small Ball. I actually saw this in a fucking theater. I saw this at Texas Theater. He did like a one night only screening all around the country of this comedy special. And it's my favorite special of his. And I saw it in the movie theater. It's great. a big fan of Joe List. He means the world to me. I'll just leave it at that. The very, very influential in my life, this guy, and I love to see my man on top. I love to see him releasing excellent work. Shouts out to Joe List. Number 2, Jordan Jensen, Take Me With You. Holy shit, this special rips. This special rips. It's on Netflix. This is one of those things like show me the person who says that there's no funny women and show them this fucking special, dude. This is the most, it's like, I hate to use the word brave, but the shit she gets into, holy fuck. It's wild. And it has the coolest production quality. The set design is fucking sick. It's so cool. And I love when comedians care about set design. As a matter of fact, my number 1 pick is also in this boat. And I'll tell you about that here in a second. Jordan Jensen is a hilarious comic. She has a podcast with Ian Fidance called Being Ian with Jordan, which is a great pod. And there's also one of the funnier episodes I've ever listened to of a podcast is called, I think it's called Pig at a Wedding. I'm not entirely sure what it's called. I forgot what the name of the episode is, but if you type in pig, Being Ian, pig, it's like episode 13 or something. It's early. That episode is insanely hilarious and fucking crazy. But back to the special. Incredible set design. It looks like hell or something, or like very metal. There's tons of red and like harsh angles and just like open drape, just sort of thrown about. It's fucking sick. You just go check it out. It's on Netflix and it's so funny. Goddamn, she's hilarious. She's the best. We saw her live. She's great. Finally, my number 1 favorite comedy special of the year. And hold on a second. I have to do some when was this person's previous special released? All right, 2022 was his most recent special before this one. 2022, it was also my favorite special of the year. And as a matter of fact, I have that special on this very set right behind me. I have it framed and signed on the Slop Shop set. I love it. I think people might think I'm Jewish because I have this on the set, but it's only because I love it. I love it dearly. I love the special very, very much. It means the world to me, and it's not the world, but it means a lot to me. I like it a lot, is what I'm trying to say. And again, this is Ari Shaffir, America's Sweetheart, is the name of the special this year. Jew is the one from 2022. Ari Shaffir, in my opinion, is the most underrated comedian working today. People love the other 3 on Protect Our Parks. People like, he's like constantly, because I talk about Ari a lot, talk about my love for this man quite a bit. And people are like, yeah, he rubs me the wrong way. I don't like him. I don't know. I love Mark Normand, love Shane Gillis. You know, Rogan's great. I'm like, no. No, he's the best. He's not the best. Shane's the best, but he's the second best. He's second best comedian, and he's the most empathetic, sweetheart, kind-hearted person, seemingly. Just do me a favor. If you're only going to watch one of these specials, make it this one, and you tell me that you don't like him. You fuck. Look at that set design. Look at that goddamn set design, and then stay for the credits. Watch the special, watch the credits, and tell me you don't fuck with Ari Shaffir. Just tell me. Walk into my house, you talk to me, and you say, I don't fuck with Ari after watching this special. We just can't be friends then. All right, I don't know what to tell you, bro. You're so wrong. Yeah. He like just to give you for the sloppers that will not be watching this, I will tell you in the credits that he goes through every one of like the people that helped create the special, every one of the main crew members, and writes like a blurb about them. Like, they were fucking awesome. This is what they did really well. This is why you should hire them. They were fucking awesome. This is what they did really well. This is why you should hire them. Even like the song that he plays in the credits on the outro, it's perfect. It's been on my playlist since then. I love it. He gives a big shout out to the band. It's the whole vibe of the thing is amazing. He spent like 70 or 80 grand on the stage, and you'll know like all of it is real. All those plants on the stage are real plants. And he spent like $70,000 on those fucking on the stage. And it's cool because you gotta outdo Jew, and Jew has the coolest set design period of any special ever. And it's like, how do you outdo it? Well, you maybe don't outdo it, you just do something totally different. And so that's what he did. He does something totally different, really creative, perfectly in theme with the specials ideas. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So shouts out to Ari Shaffir, my beloved. He's my white whale. If this podcast ever becomes something, getting Ari on this pod would be unbelievable. Got to keep pushing. All right, moving right along. Shouts out to those 5 comedy specials. I love stand-up, and I'm also love movies. Is it movie time, everyone? Oh, it's movie time. Movie time, everyone. Let's lock in. First, we will discuss my bottom 5, my least favorite films of the year. I would like to give a shout out to War of the Worlds with Ice Cube, which is not in my bottom 5 because I had a great time watching this. It is the most poorly conceived of, kind of horrifically bad. Just every element of the thing is wrong. It's wrong in its inception. It's wrong in its themes. It's wrong in its delivery. All of it is incorrect. The writing's awful. The acting's awful. But it's such a train wreck that it's fascinating and funny. So I would never put it in my bottom 5. Shouts out to War of the Worlds. I actually highly encourage you to watch it. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny. That's awesome. The director's bio on Letterboxd. Rich T. Lee is an American music video and commercial director. He has directed what's considered to be one of the worst films possibly ever made, called War of the Worlds. Shouts out to Rich T. Lee. You provided me with a lot of joy, my friend. All right. 5th least favorite movie of the year, Mickey 17. Perhaps a controversial pick. I love Bong Joon-ho. I fucking love Parasite so much. I think it is a masterpiece. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. I am obsessed with Parasite. I was so geeked. It's another movie nerd moment where I remember where I was exactly when I was watching the Oscars with a friend at a friend's house when Parasite swept everything and won Best Picture. God damn it, that was fucking amazing. The coolest moment as an Oscars nerd, as a movie nerd, and this is his follow-up. It's called Mickey 17. It's starring Robert Pattinson in 2 prominent roles. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was bad. I was like, it was one of those things where I walked out of the theater and I was like, I don't know. I could probably meager up a 3 out of 5. And then I sat with it for an hour and I was like, no. I didn't like that at all. I thought almost none of that worked. Hey, you're getting a 2 out of 5, Bong Joon-ho. Yeah, so it didn't leave quite as bad of a taste in my mouth later. Like when I look back on it now or think back on it now, I go like, eh. But I still, I walked out and gave it a 2. So it's just mostly on this list, I think, because of the massive disappointment for me, because Parasite's so good. Parasite's so good. This is just dude, I wrote this in my little review, but it's like, perhaps, let me just read this for you. So Bong Joon-ho is Korean, obviously, and he doesn't speak a lot of English. So my thinking is, maybe Bong's translator is an evil homunculus with secret plans to tank every film he makes in English. Perhaps that's what's happening. Because, like, the accent that Robert Pattinson has in the whole fucking movie is really insane and unnerving. Why did that happen? Perhaps the translator was like... Yeah, no, it sounds good, Bong. Don't worry. Fuck me. So yeah, big disappointment. Shouts out to Mickey 17 for sucking ass. Moving right along to Companion. Did you guys like Companion? I didn't at all. At all. They advertised this as the follow-up from Zach Kreger for After Barbarian. They put Zach Kreger's name all over this thing. I actually sat down, or maybe it was like walking into the theater. I was like, let's go. Can't wait. Zach, for the follow-up from Zach Kreger. Fucking love Barbarian. But anyway, I Googled it, and he just produced the fucking thing. He didn't direct it. He didn't even write it. He just produced it. He just produced his friend's fucking mediocre product and put his name all over the poster. Sucks. The movie was mid. I don't have any ill will towards this film. It just was not ideal, not good even. Fine, had some decent ideas, but didn't turn out well. Fuck you, Companion. Kill yourself. All right, moving on to this is another controversial one. I think all of these, except for the top one, are going to be controversial. Everyone, well, I don't know if everyone knows, but okay, The Naked Gun 2025. Suck my dick. Fucking not a fan at all. I kind of hate comedies. I kind of hate comedies, I've found. I haven't watched a comedy in a long time that I've enjoyed. It's probably my least favorite genre next to biopic. Biopic and like just spitball comedy. It's a tough thing to get right. This movie felt exhausting to me. Where it has that like joke per minute sort of tempo where you're never not getting fed a joke. And I would say they have like a 50% hit rate, which is not high enough. And the whole thing was just exhausting. I wanted it to be over so bad. Not a fan. No, thank you. Liam Neeson. By the way, that's the fucking worst part. The worst part is that Liam Neeson is playing it jokey. He's not playing it straight. The whole fucking thing. The reason that Leslie Nielsen is such a comedic genius and those first 3 movies work so well, along with Airplane, is that Leslie Nielsen plays it straight. He's not playing it like he's in a comedy. Leslie Nielsen didn't get the fucking memo. You're supposed to play it serious, as if everything that's happening to you is extremely serious and like real. That's hilarious. If you play it jokey, then the whole thing falls apart. And it did. Fuck this movie. All right, second least favorite, F1. Oh boy, F1, starring Brad Pitt. The follow-up to from Joseph Kosinski, director of Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick, I fucking love. Love Top Gun Maverick. Had a blast in the theater. Bought it, saw it again at home. Enjoyed it just as much a second time. Love. And I was like all the practical work for filming the planes in Top Gun Maverick and having the actors actually in planes and like all that stuff is unbelievable. It's really, really impressive. And you get this movie announced and you're like, all right, just do the same thing with F1 cars. Cool. I'm down. I'm super in. Also, Brad Pitt is probably a better actor than Tom Cruise, so I'm in. But what you don't think about, though, is that perhaps Brad Pitt is a better actor than Tom Cruise, but Tom Cruise is a better producer than Brad Pitt. Tom Cruise, when he's on a film, I think with the exception of the only exception being The Mummy 2018 or whenever that fucking piece of shit came out, that's his only stinker in recent years. Everything Tom Cruise touches turns to gold, except for that Mummy movie, because it becomes a Tom Cruise production. From what I understand from reading stuff and like Hollywood Insider things, like he essentially directs his films, more or less. He's like doing 90% of all the day-to-day, production and direction. He's doing a ton of it at least, and he demands quality. And he will punch up a shitty script and make it better. And like even in his lesser entries, like this most recent Mission Impossible movie, a definitely lesser, not quite as good as his normal output. Even in that, you have astonishing moments. Like the submarine thing in Mission Impossible is unbelievable. That's like, jaw-dropping. So in this F1 movie, there's nothing jaw-dropping. There's no moment that's astonishing. It's just like the filming of the cars is impressive, but you tire of it very quickly because it becomes eventually boring. And it becomes eventually boring because fucking there's nothing else to hang your hat on. The script sucks. Like no script I've ever seen suck. It is. There's not a line uttered that's not a cliche. It's fucking horrifically bad. The writing is horrifically bad. Fucking awful. The structure of the film, it's 3 hours long for some reason, and there's two. I remember when this happened in the theater, I actually laughed out loud. There's two end of Act 2 like low points. They do it twice for some reason. Like you have Brad Pitt fucking driving, and then his car crashes, and he wakes up in the hospital, and the music gets like low, and then Carrie Coon or whatever, Carrie Condon comes in and is like, hey man, we're fucking through. And he goes, arr. And it's like the okay, here's the end of second act. End of Act 2 low point. And then like you regain some momentum. Things start going well again, and they do again. I think it's actually 2 crashes. And it crashes again. And the second time it happened, I laughed out loud. I was like, cut the last half hour. Cut the last half hour. What the fuck are you doing? The movie does not need to be 3 hours long. We didn't need that. We didn't need none of that. Just do this one then. Why do you have 2? You don't need 2 car crash low points. Just make it 1. Oh man. So the movie sucked ass, and I hated it, and it was a big waste of time. And Brad Pitt is still the GOAT, but that movie sucked. It made a ton of money, a shocking amount of money. I think people just are F1 fans, and we're down to give it a try. I was down to give it a try, but I hated it. Fuck that movie. But no movie sucked quite as much as my number 1 pick, my most hated film of all time. Not all. No, excuse me. My most hated film of the year. Far from my most hated film of all time. I have this whole year, by the way, 0 1 stars given out. These were all 2 stars that you're hearing about right now. So that's big, you know. I think the last 1 star new release that I gave out was Ghostbusters Afterlife, which is a fucking disaster. All right, number 1 least favorite movie of the year, Captain America: Brave New World. It's the Red Hulk movie. Remember that? Remember Harrison Ford in an MCU slop product? Remember them putting Harrison Ford transforming into the Red Hulk in all the marketing, even though that was the big reveal at the end? Remember this movie being the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life? Remember the script being dog shit? Remember, I saw a tweet that said it's the first non-political thriller. That's good stuff. This movie is saying nothing. It has no voice, no opinion. It's just noise. Something that made me laugh really hard is that the badass CIA operative woman, Harrison Ford's basically, she's she's Secret Service. She's the number 1 highest ranking Secret Service official for Harrison Ford's presidency, and she is a 5'1" skinny white woman. Like, just, I'm all for equality. I'm all for giving. I'm all for reaching out and you know, girls get it done and all that. But 5'1" skinny woman as the head of security for the White House. Yeah. So anyway, there's tons of awful shit in this film, and they are retreading water that we already tread in that awful, also mid television show called, what was it called? Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Super mid. I don't know why I watched that piece of shit. Super mid as well. We're retreading the things that we've done before. We've seen it all before, and here we are again. We're doing it again. Hey guys, we're doing it again. This is one of 3 MCU movies released this year, and it was easily the biggest piece of shit of all 3 of them. So let's walk down a potential future here where this movie was really good and everyone loved it, and Anthony Mackie is the new Captain America, which, by the way, is what we did in the show. We made Anthony Mackie the new Captain America. But you got to have a movie because no one watches the fucking Disney Plus show. Okay, fine. Then let's make a movie and do the same thing again, which is it's not a great idea, but I'll go with it. We're doing a movie and we're remaking the same fucking thing that we did in the show. Great. However, the conclusion of this is like, yes, Anthony Mackie is the new Captain America. We have a black Captain America. He doesn't even have superpowers. He just has an invincible wingsuit. All right, there's your thesis. It's done. Oh wait, we're bringing Chris Evans back for Avengers Doomsday. He's Captain America again. No. All the stuff that we set up and the passing of the torch and all the sort of kind of emotional turmoil that the character is put in. Fuck it, get rid of it. No one liked it, so therefore we're bringing back Chris Evans. Remember that nice like send off that Cap had in Endgame? Yeah, fuck it. Bring him back. Offer him $5 extra million to the offer that we already sent him. Make it 35 instead of just an even 30. Keep increasing the number until he says yes. So anyway, shouts out to this pile of shit. It was awful. And it's crazy that the next MCU movie is Avengers. That's crazy. All right. Top 10 movies of the year, everybody. Just going to go speed through 10 through 6. All right. Number 10 is Sorry Baby. Number 9 is not a film. It's called Adolescence. It's on Netflix. Incredible miniseries. Tons of oneers. Very, very impressive filmmaking. Number 8 is Marty Supreme with my beloved King Twink. Number 7, Black Bag, Steven Soderbergh. And number 6 is Weapons. Follow-up from Zach Kreger to Barbarian. Barbarian is better, but Weapons is good. All right, top 5, everybody. Number 5, a very surprising number 5 for me. A movie I did not expect to love as much as I did. Predator, Killer of Killers. This is an animated anthology Predator film, straight to Hulu. And it's fucking awesome. It's so impressive. There's not a whole lot of dialogue in the whole movie. The first 2 sections of the film are essentially dialogue-less. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, but basically the idea is that there's predators throughout history, like human history, and they try to find and fight the best of the human race. And it's 3 stories. I don't know which one I like better. They're all great. Very impressive. Love that movie. Check it out. Number 4, One Battle After Another. This is probably going to win Best Picture this year. Rightfully so. It's very impressive. Incredible scope. Really stunning filmmaking. I loved it. I think it's like a surprisingly woke movie in a good way. Leo's great. Basically, the whole thing is that it's about letting go of your kids and letting them form their own decisions and make their own choices. It's a very difficult thing to do as a parent. Sean Penn is incredible. Unbelievable. Totally transforms into the role. My favorite Sean Penn performance by far. Super over the top in the best way. Tons of fascinating lore in this movie. The Christmas Adventurers or whatever, the white supremacist clan is great. That third act, come on, dude. Come on. I've never seen that with the roads, the tension of that, like how it works thematically, that she's just out of view. She's always just out of view. It's really something. Really, really beautiful and incredible film. I would love to see it again. I've only seen it one time. I'll buy it on 4K and watch it. All right. Number 3 is Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Saw this at the Texas Theater. This one's a tough one to explain. It's a tough one to recommend to people because it's a tough one to explain. But Nirvana, the band, the show was a web series that the comedian Matt Johnson, who is responsible for the Blackberry that came out last year, if you guys saw that, starring Glenn Howerton. Matt Johnson created a web series called Nirvana the Band the Show about two friends who are they're like musicians on the come up, and they really want to play this venue called the Rivalry. Rivalry. They really want to play a Canadian venue, and that instead of just applying or becoming good musicians and like going through the proper channels, they always have schemes in which they'll eventually get to the point where they can play this venue. It's very Always Sunny that way. And after the success of Blackberry, they gave the Canadian government, they essentially gave Matt Johnson a blank check and was like, you can make whatever movie you want. Blackberry was really successful, did a lot for the Canadian film scene, used a majority of Canadian actors. We would like you can make whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. And this is the movie he made. And it's fucking awesome. It's very meta, like mockumentary style. They mix, it's like Borat or Bruno, where there's real people, or like Jackass or Bad Grandpa, where you're filming real people and getting real reactions from people, and then incorporating that into the script. So the script, like they have an idea for where a thing's going to go, and then something will happen in real life. And so they'll just pivot. They'll just change it in real time. And then suddenly the movie's different because something happened in real life that they filmed. Fascinating. It's this movie is porn for editors. It's very, very impressively edited. It's a blast, hilarious. I watched it in a theater, and my theater was dying the whole time. It's really, really great. Love it. Number 2, Caught Stealing. Austin Butler, Darren Aronofsky. Saw this twice. Really loved it. People don't like this movie very much, or it's got like mixed down the middle reviews. I think it's just an absolute thrill ride. Super fun. Probably Aronofsky's most accessible movie. Austin Butler's fantastic. I think he's a legit movie star. Everyone's great. Awesome script. Darren Aronofsky is known for like Requiem for a Dream and The Whale and like horrific, depressing shit. And you're watching this movie, and like for like the first 30 minutes, you're like, what exactly brought Aronofsky? What interested Aronofsky in this project? And then something happens about 30 or 35 minutes in, and you go, oh, that's why he signed on. That's why he liked this script. So yeah, no spoilers if you haven't seen it, but I love it. I've seen it twice. My family even loved it. I just brought them. And my favorite movie of the year remained my favorite movie. It came out early in the year. A little A24 joint called Materialists, directed by Celine Song. This is her follow-up to Past Lives. Past Lives is pretty good for most of it, and then it has one of the best endings of all time. It has an absolutely astonishingly good ending that hits you in the fucking stomach, and you can't stop thinking about it, and you leave the theater like, wow, that was incredible. And then on rewatch, I affirmed that opinion that the movie overall is just pretty good, but that ending is 10 out of 10. So that's what Past Lives is. I think Materialists is just great all the way through. I love the dynamics. I love the writing. I love the way they talk to each other. What's her name? Dakota Johnson, Madam Web, is a relationship. She's like a New York relationship maker. It's like Hitch, the Will Smith movie Hitch, where she sets people up. And she's very expensive, and it's only for rich people. The rich, lonely people who want love. She'll set you up with someone. That's the idea. That's her job. And then what if the matchmaker can't find a match herself? Chris Evans is this like washed up ass Captain America, fucking busted ass. It's funny they made Chris Evans like the busted ass ex-boyfriend who's, it's Chris Evans. But he's busted as hell. Just look at him. I mean, who could be with a guy like that? Disgusting. Busted ass Chris Evans is the ex-boyfriend, and Pedro Pascal is the new, rich, exciting flame. Love the writing in this movie. It's shot pretty good, pretty well. It's pretty, but the writing, the script is fantastic. I'm a huge fan of this film. I've only seen it the one time, but I haven't stopped thinking about it. So I bought it on 4K. It's on my shelf right now. Just kidding. I don't think they gave it a 4K release. I think Blu-ray was the only available version, so I bought the Blu-ray. Why do some movies not get 4K releases? I don't know. Good question. Anywho, shout out to Materialist. It's awesome. Check it out. If you've heard that it was bad, then fuck those people. They're wrong. The movie's good. All right, I was going to do like a Slopics of the Year situation. We can touch that really quickly. Not going to say much about these, but my first podcast was about the Nintendo Switch 2. And when they announced it, and then it came out and it sold gangbusters, and your boy got one for Christmas. I am now an owner of a Nintendo Switch 2. Full circle. First podcast was about it, and the end of the year podcast, I have it. That's something maybe. Minecraft movie happened this year. Chicken Jockey, remember that? The fall off of Hot Ones kind of happened. Hot Ones sort of lost relevance. The views started declining, and it lost the jizz. I don't know what happened. The sauce is kind of gone, ironically. I don't know. I don't watch them anymore, and not many others do. It just sort of fell off, interestingly. And they're pivoting into a bunch of different avenues now. They're trying different stuff. They're trying different shows with different hosts. And, you know, God love him. Sean Evans, incredible person, interviewer. JD Vance killed the Pope this year. Remember that? I don't know why he wasn't persecuted for that. Oh my God, Kanye West. What a year for Kanye. I gave my cousin head. And then, of course, I can't even sing the HH song. They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. Shout out to Kanye, or Yee. Katy Perry did her space mission this year. Last of Us Season 2 happened. Andor Season 2 happened. Andor Season 2 was unbelievable. Last of Us Season 2 I enjoyed quite a bit. Remember the 100 Men versus a Gorilla debate? That happened this year? Whew. My friend Landon and I had a whole why anime sucks debate. Or he was on the opposing side, that anime is good, actually. We didn't post that. We should have posted that. I still have that footage. Maybe I'll just post it. Maybe that'll be a... I'll take a week off, but none of you guys will know because I'll post that instead. It'll just be like a something. A little, that'll be slop for the week. Maybe that'll happen. We'll see. In May was the 1 year anniversary of Not Like Us and the Kendrick and Drake beef. Drake post the beef in terms of normies. It didn't. Literally nothing happened. He has more streams this year than Kid Cudi has in his entire career, or than Migos has in their entire career, or like Kodak Black has in his entire career. The streams Drake has this year are more than all three of those artists in their whole career. Pretty crazy. The man does insane numbers. And yeah, again, the whole Drake or the Kendrick beef thing is, if you're not a very online music nerd or plugged into the whole slop of it all, you don't really give a fuck, and nor should you, because Drake's still good. He's cringe, but he's good. Oh man, the Doechii controversy happened this year. Remember Doechii? Remember her winning a Grammy and then immediately acting like a fucking... Crazy how fast fame can get to you. The Chromebook challenge was this year. My God, the Chromebook challenge. What a fun challenge that was for everyone. Just making your Chromebook a Molotov cocktail. Grok became Mecha Hitler for a minute, and we dealt with the quirked up epidemic. We discussed that at length. Everyone's quirked up now. The king of slop this year, by far. By far. I mean, without question, the king of slop in 2025 was Charlie Kirk. No one does it. No one did it this year like Charlie did, man. I mean, never was he off my timeline. I think his lovely widow had a lot to do with that. Or like hitting a fucking, like surfing on a wave onto stage with pyrotechnics and wearing a sparkling thong and twerking with Nicki Minaj or whatever. That all helped to make your man king, dude. Slop king of the year by far is Charlie Kirk. Yeah. Shouts out to Charlie for that. I'll give him this award posthumously. It'll be kind of like a Heath Ledger at the Oscar situation. Or maybe we'll get Erica Kirk to come pick it up. She'll pick it up. She'll parachute in to Slop Chop HQ through she'll land on the roof and then rope in through the door. Thank you so much. J.D. Vance is going to be the next president of the United States. Like, all right, Jesus. But anyway, Sloppers, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for watching and listening this whole year, man. In 2025, Slop Chop started. And just clicking through the old episodes, it really struck me how much progress we've made. We're better than we used to be. We're getting better even still. This feels like some episodes are better than others, definitely. That's always going to happen. Hope you guys got a couple good recommendations out of this episode. One of my favorite things on earth is consuming media and then sharing it with others, sharing the things that I like with other people. It's how I operate as a human being. So thank you guys for genuinely, thank you guys so much for listening. It means the world to me, truly. I cannot express my gratitude enough. It is a blast doing this. Here's to an excellent new year for you. God love you, Slop Nation, truly. Thank you again to you and yours and your family. Be safe, and we'll see you in 7 days' time. Thank you so much. Goodbye.